We spoke about converting wishes into results, right? So now tell us, like, what is the biggest reason people fail to cross that particular gap?
There's this beautiful saying: everybody aspires to be a butterfly, but nobody wants to embrace the journey it has had. All of us, I think, we all have our own set of wishes, desires of what we want in life, but are we willing to pay the price? We often look for one is, are we willing to pay the price? Second is, we often look for instant gratification. In this dopamine era where we are kind of chasing that instant result, anything great that you want to do, anything, any wish that is big enough and you want to accomplish that will take persistence and a long period of time. You'll have to be in the game for you to make it big.
Living life. What does living life mean to you today compared to when you started your own journey a while back? Has it changed?
As a 19-year-old who stood on stage, when we begin things, we are often inspired or we are often driven by the applauds, which is what at the start for me, at the beginning, living life was more about the spotlight on me. How many people are looking at me? How many people are applauding me? How many people are kind of seeing or putting me in the pedestal? So today, when I look at it, I look at living life and the work that I do in talking to younger generations, having conversations like this, or delivering a speech or delivering training programs. In whatever form I engage with people, today I see it more as the responsibility.
What are the first few signs that someone is stuck in the wishing zone rather than taking action?
One disease that all of us have is the perfection. You want to do things which are perfect, and in the process of wanting it to be perfect, you want that perfect book, you want that perfect speech, you want that perfect project, you want that perfect presentation. Because you want it so perfect, you don't start in the first place.
So folks, you have tuned into TGV, and hearty welcome to the Guiding Voice podcast series, the world's only quadrilingual podcast at this moment of recording, and we are trying to embark into multiple languages as we speak, and here we embark on transformative conversations for a better future. And we want to simplify and amplify your journey to success. I'm your host Navin Samala, dedicated to making the world a better place by bringing you wisdom through valuable discussions with experts designed to simplify and amplify your success. And thank you so much for tuning in. We are joined by an enthusiastic Toastmaster, and he's an entrepreneur, a public speaking coach, a Joe Stark speaker, and Toastmasters district champion. And he belongs to District 126 of Toastmasters. And we are pleased to have Rahul Jain. Rahul made a rare achievement in 2003 by becoming the District 126 champion in international speech contest, evaluation speech contest, and also table topics contest, while also placing second in humorous speech contest, making him a podium finisher in all four Toastmasters international contests in a single season. It is not that easy, guys. And he has over 19 years of public speaking experience. And Rahul has impacted thousands through his initiative called Living Life. And he has delivered more than 400 talks, motivating young minds with life skills and encouraging them to live with purpose and passion. And Rahul's motto is inspiring the next step. And it reflects his belief in the immense potential within every individual. So we are super excited to have him on the show. And before that, let me thank Pawan Kumar Ogirala for connecting me with Rahul. And in fact, we need passionate speakers like Rahul to inspire our audience. So Rahul, hearty welcome to the Guiding Voice podcast series. How are you doing today?
Thank you, Naveen. It's a good day today. Excited for the conversation that we're going to have, and life has been kind.
Amazing. So, Rahul, first things first, why should somebody tune into a conversation and spend their valuable time with us?
Whether you're 15 or you're 50, a beginner or a pro, someone who's scared to hell or in the flow. I'm being a firm believer that the meaning to our life and the purpose of life is moving to the next orbit, the next scale in our life. And all my life, I've chased that. And through my talks, I've inspired that. So if you're here today, if you're looking to scale up, wherever you're today, in whatever facet of your life, I hope this conversation helps you inspire to the next step in your life.
Absolutely. So, folks, if you're looking for some inspiration in terms of taking the next step, right, you have tuned into the right episode. And today we are going to have an interesting conversation on the topic at hand, the Wishbreaker. How to stop dreaming and start doing, because many people dream, okay, but they don't do. And there is a famous quote which says, the difference between dream and a goal is goal has a deadline, whereas a dream doesn't have a deadline. But before we get into our conversation, here is an exciting twist as always. Let us tickle our guest brain first. So, Rahul, get ready for a rapid fire round of random words. I'll mention a few, and I would love to hear the first thing that comes to your mind in response without thinking much. If you're ready,
All good.
let's dive in.
Hello, I'm Steve Ahern, one of the judges of the Asia Podcast Awards. I'm interrupting this episode to let you know that you're listening to an award-winning podcast. This podcast won its category in the 2024 Podcast Awards, so you know you're listening to quality. Enjoy your listening experience, and congratulations to the team who created this award-winning podcast for you.
Perfect. So, my first word is curiosity,
Learning,
invention,
persistence,
future,
hopeful,
universe,
karma,
leadership,
being an example,
success,
peace with progress.
peace with progress. Awesome. And then wish.
As of now, I would say a TEDx talk.
I'm sure it will happen very soon. I delivered my TEDx talk last year, and all we have to do is just manifest, and for you, it will be very easy. Next is wealth.
The good you do.
Awesome. And then aliens.
Sometimes myself in my own body.
Interesting. And my last word is life.
Opportunity.
Amazing. Amazing insights. And those are all some thought-provoking responses and spot on as well. And thank you so much for participating in the first rapid fire round. Yes, you heard it right. There is one more rapid fire towards the end of the episode. So stay tuned. And
This is exactly what I fear. While I come prepared for a certain talk and then or a theme of discussion, and then like Muhammad Ali beautifully said, everybody has a plan until they are punched right in the face.
okay, my rapid fire round questions are going to be very light, just to get to know the other side of the speaker. All right, and again, welcome once again to the Guiding Voice, and thank you so much for being part of our journey in shaping the careers and lives of millions across the globe. And let's get the ball rolling. So, Rahul, talk to us about who is your guiding voice.
I can't pinpoint on one person per se, because I'm a believer in the quote of Galileo, the famous scientist Galileo. He said that you cannot teach a man anything. You can only help him discover it within himself. And so when it comes to a guiding voice, I believe it's more like a magnet that you need to open up. And I think the world has in immense numbers opportunities through which you can find your guiding light. To name a few still, I believe in different facets of my life, I've had people who have have offered a guiding voice to where I am today. To begin with, obviously my parents, my father for my business acumen, for mother for the kindness that she has and the way she picks it up, irrespective of what the world treats her with. My wife for showing me the persistence and showing me who I am. My mentor, Durga Mohan, who's my inspiration, who's my communication teacher back from 2020 to 2003, when she was my graduation teacher. And she's one of my inspiration of how she carried herself and the way she presented herself. And of recently, I think in Toastmasters, Pratima Madhurity is someone I look up to for the charm that she has and the way she carries herself. So these are few people who have always got back to when it comes to me finding the voice that I want to look for whenever I am lost.
Mm-hmm. Excellent. So I have one personal question, and you can feel free to skip. Okay. I got to know that you're running a very good business. Okay, and you're doing really, really well. And still you are interested in this public speaking and in terms of inspiring people and all, because typically if people have successful business running and all, they get complacent and they wanted to expand the business, go to the next level and all. But you are working on something which not everybody is keen on, right? So what is motivating you to do that?
I think when it comes to business, that's obviously something that feeds my pockets. I have to survive, I have to grow, and for a lot of things that I do, I would definitely need money. And that's where something I feel I have kind of poured myself into the business also. It's not that that's not visible, so you feel when or what is he doing in business. But that's something where I've grown and been a part of, and something that has helped me build my business acumen. But I even have this thought that at the end of our life, it's not the pockets that we have or what we have filled with our pockets. It's something that feeds our soul. And each one of us, I feel every one of us is born with a certain purpose. Luckily for me, from different trials and errors, I've found mine. Because every time I'm on stage, I'm interacting with people, or in this space of public speaking, it is where my heart beats the most. If you have seen recently a movie called as F1, the movie, there's a state in that which the lead actor is aspiring to be. And that's what he's come back to. And it's said that state is called the flow. It's not about money, it's not about position, not about title. It's how you feel when you are doing something that you're passionate about, and everything else nullifies. I feel for me, the stage is that. And I keep pushing myself back to this space for that feel of the flow. And I feel anyone who's in the flow can contribute the best things that they can with their gifts to the world. So that's the logic behind being there and being here both at the same time. I've seen a lot of people wishing, thinking of doing things that they are passionate about, interested in, something that they feel deeply about once they retire or sometime later, and their entire life passes away like that. I didn't want to be that. So even before I started my career, this is somewhere I found my knack, found my match, and I've been doing that. So I've kind of had that good experience and blessed with knowing it and the courage to pursue it.
Excellent. I can see a part of me in you. Okay, because I am also doing this out of passion along with my day job and all. And when I get into these conversations or when I am into public speaking and all, that gives me a lot of kick. Okay, it is all about, okay, imagine somebody talking about you in your absence and maybe how you have impacted their life or career, right? That goes a long way. And so there's a lot of similarities between the work that you are doing and what I am doing. Of course, I'm not at a level where you have already reached. I must admit.
There's no comparison. There's no comparison because I feel I've seen people who are at 20, 25 today far ahead. If I were to compare, far ahead of where I am. And at 40, I am where I am. I'm at peace with what I do and how I spend my days.
Excellent. Yeah. Amazing. And with that, let's talk about your success mantra, as in top 3 things that have contributed to your success so far.
Not limiting to public speaking or the business. I think one mantra that has always worked is this philosophy of what next. Always keep chasing what is it that moves the needle to what you're doing. If you're doing something the same way for the last 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, that's where life's meaning and purpose drifts. So one, if you wish to be successful in whatever you're doing, I think keep asking that question, what is that next thing that will move you to the next leg? So in public speaking, as an example, I was already a public speaker for 15 years before I entered Toastmasters. But somewhere I found the need that to be more impactful, to create a wider impact, I need a platform where I can grow. Forget about the impact. I can grow, and more I've become a better person, better individual, better public speaker, the better is the opportunity of what I want to serve. So that's one. In our business, as an example, I come from a typical banya business. So it has been in existence for the past 44 years now. While I entered in 2013, when it was 30 years into the business, and there was a certain pattern in which it was operating. So in that context, I always questioned what is happening, what can be done better. And that's the reason as we progressed and scaled up the business and found and built systems through growth and understanding bottom-up approach, what I realized was even there, today, while I am able to move here and there, do the things that I love to, it's all because I've scaled up that business, moved it into autopilot mode, and a lot of things I get the space and time because I've moved to the next level there with the question, what next? So that's one. Second is, I think it's something that a lot of people don't understand the depth of, which is consistency. I've been a public speaker. Living Life has been an initiative I've started in 2005. So it's 20 years now. Our initiatives like Speak Up Club, which is a part of a subset of public speaking of Living Life, which is another initiative that I started during COVID times. That's also run into the 5th year now. We have done over 245 meetings every week for the past 5 years as a part of the Speak Up Club. All I feel is the more you garner the consistency more than the intensity, because I've seen a lot of people start things, engage in things, have the fire in them at the start, but that doesn't last. And that's the thing that I feel consistency is one of the critical elements which helps in you being in the game, staying in the game, and keep moving on in the game. And the last thing is service. We often think of what is in it for me, but the entire game flips. The entire game flips if you ask the question, what's in it for the other person? And the world will chase for your success. When you start looking at what is it I can do for others, what I can do to serve them better, to give them a better experience. And please know, this is not service per se of NGOs or something which is going for free. In whatever you're doing, keep pushing yourself in serving better. The results will find its own place. You will reap the benefits of whatever you're doing. Eventually, if you've done it right, done it well with the intention of helping others, you make a buck with helping others. If you're snatching it, if you're manipulating it, if you're doing it in whatever techniques that you can think of that I want to earn, if the I is in focus, I believe eventually it will fall flat. Eventually, people will know the true colors, and that's where it backfires. So, put the pedestal always on what is in it for others, and they will help you become successful.
Excellent. Such a motivating set of factors. And let's move to the next one. So, living life, right? What does living life mean to you today compared to when you started your own journey a while back? Has it changed?
Definitely. As a 19-year-old who stood on stage, I feel a lot of us begin things with the wrong, not, I would say not wrong, at that point in time, in that space of the world that we are in, at that age, when we begin things, we are often inspired, or we are often driven by the applauds, which is what at the start for me, at the beginning, living life was more about the spotlight on me. How many people are looking at me? How many people are applauding me? How many people are um, kind of seeing or putting me in the pedestal? So at the beginning, I would say, let me confess, it was to do a lot with me finding my own validation that I am good in something, I am great at something. But as years progressed by, when I see the impact of how people's life change, at the start you said something beautiful, which was many people are influenced by each one of us. And the fact of the matter is, we do not realize how many people are influenced by us. So today, when I look at it, I look at living life and the work that I do in talking to younger generations, having conversations like this, or delivering a speech or deliver training programs. In whatever form I engage with people, today I see it more as the responsibility. I've had times where I was in pain. As an example, in 2020, my dad was in COVID, in the ICU, waiting for an answer of whether he'll come out or what will happen next. And still, I went on to do a speaker club session because that is where I found my peace. And that is where I saw it as a responsibility. I saw it as my calling. And that's where I found myself. So today, when I look at living life, I think today living life owns me. That's how it is. I think that's how passion works. At the start, you are chasing passion. And then once you are into the all in, I think the passion owns you. Today, I do umpteen number of stuff, not because I have the energy, not because I'm too excited many times, but the fact is, I do it as a responsibility because I owe it to the world of what I have been gifted with, which I've upgraded, kind of grown. But the fact is, what I've been gifted with, and I need to share those gifts. That's a responsibility that I have.
So inspiring, and also thank you for sharing so candidly as well, because at times we always like to be in the limelight, and over a period of time, once you start adding value and then the initiative owns you. That is beautifully put through. And Rahul, we spoke about converting wishes into results, right? So now tell us, like, what is the biggest reason people fail to cross that particular gap?
There's this beautiful saying: everybody aspires to be a butterfly, but nobody wants to embrace the journey it has had. And that's the thing with wishes. We all are filled. Everyone, all of us, I think we all have our own set of wishes, desires of what we want in life. But are we willing to pay the price? We often look for, one is, are we willing to pay the price? Second is, we often look for instant gratification. You want to accomplish what somebody did in 20 years in a matter of 2 months or 2 years. Today, when you talk of the corporate jobs or people in their companies, I'm not saying it's wrong, but people within a matter of 6 months start asking, am I making a difference? How much have I grown? What's my paycheck? What's the appraisal? And all those things. While in the generation that I come, and even bigger in the generations that were prior to mine, people spend 30 years, 40 years in a single company or doing something painstakingly day in and day out. And that's where they got the result. We are in this dopamine era where we are kind of chasing that instant result while not realizing that, like it said, Rome wasn't built in a day. Anything great that you want to do, anything, any wish that is big enough and you want to accomplish that will take persistence and a long period of time. You'll have to be in the game for you to make it big.
Echo with you. That is what I have been going through the guiding voice, 5 years and 3 months and counting. And we have expanded into 5 languages. And Again, if I were to chase just results and all, probably I would have quit, like many others who have quit in the very first year, right? But it is all about impacting. It is all about connecting with amazing people. And today, I rarely go and pitch to the guests, right? I always get 2 to 3 guest pitchings from across the globe, and I'm selective who to be invited to the show and all, right? So it is all about consistency.
I think I'm honored then.
Equally honored as well, because I like people like you who really are driving that particular impact and all. And it actually resonates with my mission as well. And on that note, let's move forward. Like, what are the first few signs that someone is stuck in the wishing zone rather than taking action?
I think one disease that all of us have is the perfection. You want to do things which are perfect. And in the process of wanting it to be perfect, you want that perfect book, you want that perfect speech, you want that perfect project, you want the perfect presentation. Because you want it so perfect, you don't start in the first place. Waiting for perfect conditions is a disease. And what I realized as a trick to hack that is nothing perfect comes in the first place. You find it in the 50th time or the 100th time or the 200th time. But you have to cross that first time, second time, 10th time to get to that perfect outcome of what you need. Just to give you an example, if you open your phone right now and open the Play Store to update the apps, you'd see almost 80 to 90%. If it's not an auto update, you'll see 80 to 90% of your apps are set to update in a matter of week or 2 weeks. Now, ask yourself, if they had waited for what is the perfect thing that we want to launch in the website or the app, and would have waited to get all the answers before they started, they won't be doing this. So, I feel the journey of results or getting into that action mode has to come from that idea of embracing failures as a part of the journey, not as an opposite of journey. So, talk of RCB, 17 years, they didn't fail. They were preparing for the success that came in the 18th year. So they had to play. They could have quit, they could have stopped, but I think yet they persisted and they were in the game every year, coming back, giving learning, opportunities, growth, and everything happening. And that's a part of how they got there, wherever they are right now. So that's the thing about people who are often stuck in the zone of wishing because they want perfect conditions, which is a mirage that never happens.
I love the metaphor of app updates and also. And for those of you who are not familiar with RCB, it stands for Royal Challengers Bengaluru. It is a team as part of Indian Premier League, and they have really fought for 17 years and have won in the 18th year, demonstrating utmost resilience, discipline, and everything. And now, entire world, in the sense India, is looking up to them. Okay, right? That is how things are built. Amazing. I love all the examples. Now let's move forward. Rahul, how can someone turn vague desires into concrete goals with a real deadline?
Move from the abstract to the specific. So I do this activity with my clients wherein we move from what their vision is at the bigger picture. What is the desire? What is the big picture of the wish that they have? And then ask them, let's turn it down that for it to happen, what is the mission that you need to build? What is a milestone that you need to build? And then what is the action that you need to do? If you can't do anything to move an inch towards your vision today, it's never going to come into action. It's never going to come into reality. So the question that you need to ask is that what is that? How much so small? What is that one thing that you can do today that will move you an inch towards your vision, towards your wish? Is the answer that you need to ask yourself. So let's giving you an example. If you wish to be a great speaker, or you want to stand on the TEDx talk as an example, that's a wish that I have. That's great. But how does TEDx happen? You need to be visible. You need to be a good speaker. You need to reach out. So what are the strategies that you can employ to get to that wish into a reality? Put yourself out there. Once you're out there, make sure you're delivering one talk every week over the next maybe 3 months. So that's 12 talks. The visibility comes in. You need to be consistent where your visibility is there. And then for me to deliver a talk every week, what do I need to do? Maybe 5 days a week, reach out to schools, colleges, or wherever the corporate's happening, look for opportunities, seek them, send 5 invites, 5 connections to anyone who will help you move towards your talking goal. That's 5. That's 25 invites or connections that you're going to try to get that top. To get to your top and invite, you also need the other side of the story, which is working on yourself. Why will people want you on their stage? Why would people want, what is the value that you are providing? So as a learning element, if I have to learn, let me target one speech every 2 weeks in Toastmasters. Let me mentor, let me evaluate one speech every day. So look at how the bigger picture trickles down to what I can do today. So at the end of it, ask yourself, today I need to send 5 invites. Today I need to do a speech evaluation. Today I need to work on developing a program. What is it that you need to do today? If you do that, what you need to do today, every day, you will reach your results. All your wishes can come true with that process of what's today. That's what works wonders. Ramped is a good word, I would say. I think one of the biggest myth I've felt is there's a far bigger difference between being called successful and feeling successful. Being called successful is a black hole, a bottomless glass where you keep pouring in, you keep feeding, and the day you stop it, you come back to where you were asking yourself, am I successful or not? While when it comes to feeling successful with the right benchmark and the right standard, I've seen a lot of people with a flawed benchmark, and like it said, you don't aim low and hit it to be happy. So that's also a case where it can be a flawed feeling of successful that you can have. But if you have the right benchmark, if you set the right standards, feeling successful is a mindset where you are enough, you are complete with all your flaws and all your failures. You are still successful. That's how what you need to be chasing, not being called. Because today it's the entire perception of being called successful or someone who's famous or doing something great is coming from the likes, shares, subscribes, or the kind of outreach that they have. In the matter of success, I've already told, okay, nothing, I don't want to use that example. It could be a little tricky or fall in the wrong space. But I've always told that don't chase to be a memory, chase the impact. And if you are creating impact, even if it is just 10 people that you're changing the lives of, you are successful. While there could be 1,000 people who could know you, as well doesn't make a difference.
I keep telling on this platform,
So-
saying that even if one person listening to the episode and they feel, okay, there is a value out of it, right? That meets my purpose. Okay. So, yeah, excellent. And we talked about making the progress inch by inch, right? So, carrying on that question, okay, what are some small but high impact daily practices that you recommend to shift from wishful thinking to results?
One is definitely in this era of distractions, one thing that you need to take charge of is your time. And for things that matter, I believe I use this technique called as time blocking. Rather than going with a to-do list, in which it is far easier for us to check off those things which are convenient and less important, and missing out on things which are impactful but are important and painful too. So instead of going the other way around of to-do list, I focus on the time blocking with which I make sure how much so painful, this is the time that I've allotted to this task, and there's no negotiation in that. And I think if you take charge even 4 hours of your day with time blocking of doing which is important and must for you to progress, rest all will fall in place. But if you take charge of 4 hours of focused work on what you're doing, your life will change. There's a transformation that can happen. That's one. Second, it is only 2 years back that I realized this, that if your passion is the fuel, your body is the car. We often think we keep pushing in more fuel, more superpower, whatever that horsepower and all those things are called. But at the end of it, if your body isn't fit to run that or to use that fuel, it makes no sense. You won't survive for a long run. So one thing that you got to take care of is your body. Start nurturing it. Start taking care of how you are utilizing it. No overburns, sleep, stress, whatever combinations that are impacting the body is you need to be in charge of. That's what helps us run the way you wish to, rather than your health making you run the way it wishes to. That's the second thing. And the third thing is, I would say, for anything, the start is jittery. All you need to do is break the inertia. Our mind body is tuned for convenience and comfort. But if you break the momentum of comfort, build or break the inertia which is there and build momentum, the flow takes over after that. You often see in a race where the biggest challenge is the start of it. I'm not too worried of what's happening in between. I know invariably the flow will kick in and we will start moving in and how we'll grow. All that matters is just kickstart the day, kickstart that project, kickstart something that you're passionate about. The kickstarting as a regular practice is very important for you to get into that state of flow, which is where you can chase the excellence.
Love every part of it. Amazing. And a while ago, we spoke about dopamine-driven habits, and we are in the era of constant distractions, instant gratification, and given these all demons, if I may call it, right? How can people stay committed to long-term results?
There's nothing that can break you except for the fact that if you don't have your why clear. If your why is clear in space, you could have distractions. I'm not saying it won't be there, but you'll always find a reason to come back to what you need to do. A lot of things that we do, whatever jobs that we aspire, the things that we are pursuing, the things that we're chasing, are often not our desires. They're created from the environment and the situations and the people around you. And that's the reason you falter on those. But if you go deeper, I do this practice called as probing why. I go deeper on what is it that you are looking for? What is it that you need to do? Why is it that you need to do? If you get that picture clear of what's your why, there's nothing that stops you. We are humans, we will have our own digressing from the path which happens, but yet we will keep coming back if the why is clear and it keeps, maybe the cheat meal on a weekend will happen. But yes, your life won't be a cheat meal.
Love it. So, folks, find your why, and then you will get the passion, and at the same time, be healthy as well. So, these are certain things which we can completely own it ourselves without depending on anybody else. And Rahul, this has been an amazing conversation with a lot of insights, and it's time for us to add some excitement and make the episode spicy, which means we have to kick the second rapid fire round.
I know. It's as if we didn't have enough masala till now.
No, masala is there so far, but it's more on the serious note. Now let's
I
add
understand.
something on a funny note. Okay, so
Sure.
yeah. So my first bullet out of the second rapid fire round is, if you could have one gigantic billboard anywhere with anything on it, what would it say?
There's a quote from Buddha, which has stuck with me for a long time and it keeps motivating me. It says, "The problem is we think we have time." And I think that's a message that we need to reiterate to ourselves every single day. You never know when was the actual time it will be the last day.
True. And especially if you're waiting for some time to come, right, it will never come. Okay. And Rahul, describe yourself in just one word.
Positive.
And dream job as a child.
As a child, I think it kept changing every 6 months. But one that I remember, because I come from that era when the internet was just kind of opening up. So computer engineer was a good title that I heard, and I used that. I want to become a computer engineer is what I announced in my class.
Okay. And one wish you are glad never came true.
To be a CEO in a corporate company. I don't say it in a negative way, but yeah, I feel a lot of things have happened as a result of which I moved away from that dream or that wish that I had, that one day I want to be a CEO of this big Fortune 500 company or something. And because I could, it's still valid if somebody wants to, and they can still do it. I feel that opened up the doors for me to experiment with a lot of things in my life, and that's why it has helped me.
And name a book that radically changed your life.
I won't say radically, but this is where the seeds of living life were put in. And it's a book called as The Power of Positive Thinking by Vincent Peale. This is a book that I got hand over somewhere and I read it, and that's where my entire idea of positivity and positive thinking and how our thoughts and our mind is where our superpower lies was put in. Post that, there have been a lot of instances or a lot of stories or ideas that I have learned and built. But this is where it started.
And one rule you would add to the constitution of humanity.
Be kind. Nobody knows the battles that everyone is fighting.
A wish you still haven't turned into a result. I think I can guess this, but you have to.
I think I just told you that. It's a one is TEDx talks. I've never chased it per se, but yeah, I think like I mentioned, I will need to have actionable plan to get that going.
That will happen soon. And the last one for the second rapid fire round, one habit people must quit today if they want to live fully.
Stop thinking, start doing.
Amazing. After that amazing second rapid fire, let's flip back to the mainstream. So, if you had just one final message to leave behind for someone stuck between dreaming and doing, right? What would you tell them to do today to move one step or 1 inch closer to the result?
Please fail. That's a path. That's a path to achieving everything.
Amazing. And I thoroughly enjoyed talking to you, Rahul. It was such an insightful conversation with tons of inspiration and motivation. And I think you did the best. And we are going to do 2 more episodes as discussed. So, folks, we'll bring back Rahul once again, not once again, but twice again on the show, covering 2 different topics as well. So, stay tuned. And Rahul, how is your experience being hosted on the Guiding Voice podcast?
It's fascinating. Like you mentioned, you've been into this journey of this podcast specifically for the last 5 years. I can see the passion that we share, the passion and the purpose that we share for why we are doing what we are doing. And I think that resonates. And it's an experience that we often cherish a lot because the connection is far deeper when we have the same purpose. It's been fascinating, the kind of lineup of questions, the way you probed into different things, and the thought behind every question was being purposeful and adding value to the listeners. I hope just as much as people listen to what I have to share, I feel listening to you and the energy that you bring in into these podcasts is also something that I admire. So keep going on with that. Looking forward to coming back and talking, having another conversation someday soon.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for all the kind words and keep inspiring. And I wish you all the best in everything that you do. And just count on the Guiding Voice wherever you need support. We are here to support you. All right. So, friends, that was our episode with Rahul Jain. And before we get into the trivia section, let me thank Pawan Kumar Ogirala once again for making this connection happen. So, thank you, Pawan. And before we jump into the fun trivia section, we have a quick request in case if you have enjoyed the conversation and found it useful, request you to share with at least 3 of your friends or colleagues or family members, whoever you think would benefit from this particular episode or from this show. So spread the knowledge and help others grow just like you. Now it's time for us to cruise into the trivia segment. Having had amazing conversation about how to convert wishes into results, right? I thought of presenting you some less known facts about goals and deadlines. The first one is psychology behind goals. Do you know that if you cry tears of happiness, right, the first tear typically comes from your right eye. But tears of sorrow start from your left eye. Just like our emotions have patterns, so do our goals. And most people's someday dreams always stay on the left side, the sorrow side of unfulfilled potential. But when you add a deadline and turn that wish into a goal, you literally move it to the right side, the happiness side of the achievement. And the second fact is the deadline paradox. By bending trivia about it, and psychologists have discovered that humans are more productive in blue rooms. But here is what's even more interesting. We are also more likely to set unrealistic deadlines in blue environments. It's called the confidence paradox. So, Rahul, maybe that's why so many people fail at their goals. They are literally in the wrong colored room when they set their deadlines. But seriously, folks, the color of your environment affects your goal setting psychology as well. So, choose wisely and wherever you are planning your future. The final trivia is that everyone thinks or everyone says it takes 21 days to form a habit, right? But it is wrong. That's based on a misunderstanding of a 1960s plastic surgery study. The real research shows it takes anywhere between 18 to 254 days with an average of 66 days. And if you have been beating yourself up for not sticking to your goals after 3 weeks, relax. You're not broken. You're just human. And the key is not the magic number of days, it's having a deadline and sticking to it, just like Rahul teaches. All right, so folks, that's it for today. And thank you so much for tuning in and also for being part of our awesome TGV family. So until next time, take care, stay inspired, and remember, the best is yet to come. Goodbye for now. See you on the next episode with another amazing guest. Take care. Love you all. Bye bye.